So, the Survivor Series 2024 just ended. Well, it ended a few minutes ago. I was gonna do a YAP stream, which means that I went YAP right after it ended. But my app was messing up. So I figured I'd just go with the old reliable camera video to get it done. Overall, it was a good show, but just get into the nitty-gritty. The first match, the Win the War Game match, honestly, I couldn't give, if any of the women watching this, no offense, it's no indictment on you, it's more indictment on the booking and the lack of storytelling. Honestly, I couldn't give well, I guess technically that storytelling between Rhea and Yiv and everything, but this just didn't. Honestly, I couldn't give really a toss about this. I spent my time. It was on the background, yeah. It was objectively. Even if I wasn't really paying attention, I could say it was objectively good. I spent most of my time playing the new WW2K24 game that I got, which is a great game. It took me this is the only embarrassing thing to say, but it took me a few days to get how it worked. Yeah, because the controls aren't what I'm used to in a typical WB game. But once I got it down, I'm doing pretty great at it. I'm pretty great at it, honestly. Has a good showcase mode. Has a good I'm barely in the universe mode, but has a good universe mode. Universe mode 2 where you can rack up points. But a little bit of a disclaimer. I'm not so honestly if it's the case, but I tried to play with my nephew a couple of days ago, and I noticed that if you play with someone else, you don't get points. Like you just don't. Like we played a gauntlet and didn't get any points for it. So don't know if that's always the case, but just heads up. Which is, frustrating, but I can see why they do that if they do. Cause you could sync up with your buddy and say, hey look, yeah, just hit a bunch of moves on each other and get ourselves a 5-star match and get it out of points. So I can see why they don't do that. It's just, it's frustrating. But the amount of time I've been talking about that match ended. And Rhea Ripley pinned Liv Morgan, who was the Raw. No, Rhea's not the champion. Liv took the championship from Rhea. So Rhea pinned Liv, and I expect there to be a rematch on the end. Not a War Games rematch, but a one-on-one rematch for the title. So that'll be good, but yeah, I can say the story just wasn't. This year just wasn't. Not saying there was no story, obviously, but there just wasn't enough meat on the bone. But Rhea won, and it was objectively good, I can say. Next up, we get a match that I was a little more invested in. We get Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight via the United States title. Now, I liked what they were doing. This kind of gives me hope this is going to be kind of a permanent, more elevated push for Shinsuke Nakamura. the commentator, particularly Corey Graves, was speaking over how big a fan they were of Shinsuke Nakamura, how excited he was when he came to NXT. He mentioned unfortunately for himself that Shinsuke Nakamura came into NXT just about the time Corey Graves was forced to wrap up his in-ring career. But yeah, they spent time saying, hey, Shinsuke Nakamura is a former IWGP champion, which, when was the last time you think you'd heard anything about that on WB? But yeah, they were going either former IWGP champion, either former Intercontinental IWGP champion. He's a former two-time United States champion in the WB, and yeah, I'm cautious about it, but that does give me a little bit more concrete hope that this is a sustainable push for Nakamura on his way back to greatness, on his way back to Shinsuke Nakamura that we saw in New Japan. Now, I don't think that Nakamura that they come to WB. Like, I'm not saying that. But if we just get a semblance of what he was in New Japan, we're in for a treat. Oh boy. So, we get this match. I mean, it's standard. It's standard fare. Nothing too outrageous. Some kicks, some elbows from LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura, respectively. At one point, Shinsuke Nakamura just kind of knocks them out. Well, he exactly gets a knockout blow with his elbow, which just great. But in the end, Shinsuke Nakamura is your new US champion. Now, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. But I'm happy that Shinsuke Nakamura is the United States champion. WWE has got a working relationship with TNA now, which is so ironic because TNA was originally created as an alternative to WB way back in 2002 or 2003. I'm pretty sure it was 2003. But yeah, WB has a working relationship with TNA now, so hopefully you can get Shinsuke Nakamura over in TNA, and I'm 100% hopeful that they'll treat Shinsuke Nakamura better at TNA than they did Okada all those years ago. But yeah, it was a good match. Standard, I can say nothing too outrageous, but it was a good match. It got the job done, and Shinsuke Nakamura, the new champion. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to where that's gonna go. But next up, we get a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, the champion, going in. We get a good high package between the three, and it's just a brawl. I miss a bit because my Peacock messed up. I'm gonna get 10 minutes of the match because when I came back, the match only lasted like 10 more minutes or so, 7 more minutes. But what I saw, and I can assume it was a brawl. I mean, you get Sheamus coming out with the CAE, which because he normally doesn't come out with the CAE. So when he does, that's gonna come into play at some point. Udwig ended up getting the CAE. Say, Tom Simmons with it, wait till he gets out, goes for a swing. I mean, mate, why would you tell Simmons that you have that? Why would you make it so obvious? Don't just hide that someplace, then strike him. Well, yeah, Simmons fights him off, gets the CAE back. Belts him over the barricade with the CAE, with the kill down, but with the CAE. But the CAE is so far across from him, so it's not like he hits him with the CAE or anything. The CAE doesn't do any real damage. But then you get Udwig butting Simmons' legs with the CAE. He just belts him. Eventually, it would go for an offensive maneuver. Simmons catches him with a knee. Bronson catches Udwig with and I highly advise you to seek this out for yourself. Bronson his name's not Bronson. I just didn't remember the name right now. Sorry. But, yeah, the Intercontinental Champion, he jumps in with the spear on Udwig. He jumps in midair and spears him, which is phenomenal. Then he spears Simmons. I thought there would be like a big knockout, drag out brawl between them, but there wasn't. He just hit him with the spear, and he retained the Intercontinental title. So I don't know where he goes from here, but I'm excited for it. I expected him to win, but this was serviceable for what it was. What I'm excited for is Sheamus and the Intercontinental Champion to have a match on pay-per-view. And that's what I'm excited for, because they can just go all out on pay-per-view. I mean, not that they couldn't technically on a Raw, but I mean, without the commercials and everything, they'll just go full force. We get Damian Priest versus Gunther for the for the whatever weight championship. This was some good storytelling in the match. Some good storytelling through the commentators, through the video package that, hey, Gunther got this confidence. Gunther got to Sami Zayn, which admittedly Gunther considers a fugue. Gunther got to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Honestly, I consider that a fugue too. And not only a fugue, but I consider that a mistake. Because why would you... I mean, it's not even an issue I have with Gunther using the title at that particular WrestleMania. Just why wouldn't you go with Chad Gable? Chad Gable done nothing since that program with Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. But I digress. That was a good story. Basically saying, hey, Gunther got the confidence. He ought to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, and he ought to Cody Rhodes for the Crown Jewel title at Crown Jewel in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So that's a big price of content. Not to mention that Damien has basically been dominating him, been tearing him down, and Gunther's been backing down. Gunther's been backing down from him because he's not the same guy that we saw particularly before he got to Cody Rhodes. Which, admitted, yeah, to his credit, he did come out and say, Gunther did come out and say, hey, the better man won. He was the better man on that night. Which is rare for the heel to do. Yeah, I say rare, but I've all done heard of. But this was a pretty, really good match for what it was. We got Damien, hurting his arm. I forget whether Gunther attacked the arm to hurt it. I don't think he did, but we got Damien hurting his arm, and we got Gunther just noticing it. And the announcer put over. Oh, he noted. Did you see a smile on Gunther's face when Damien hurt the arm, when he saw Damien do that? So he just attacked the arm wringer, that punches to the arm, all that, the yams. We get a right of that from Damien for just 2 count, but then we get Gunther sending Damien over. Oh no! What happened is both men on the top rope. Damien gets Gunther in the ring with a few punches, but then in the process, Damien falls backwards, or maybe they both knock each other out at the same time. But Damien falls backwards onto his arm, and the commentators put over. Oh, you can hear Damien saying to the ref, "It's out, meaning his shoulder was out. So he's on the floor, and then Finn Balor comes around. Finn Balor on the steel death, and he does a coup de grace. I think he's meant to do it on the arm, but it doesn't really look like he does it on the arm. It did from how I saw it, Yogaki caught him on the chest, but I'm pretty sure he was supposed to get him on the arm. Then you have Gunther attacking, Gunther booting Finn because he wanted to win out of the own. He wanted to prove he could win out of the own. He wanted to prove that he still had it, even though he most definitely does objectively. But, yeah, that's interesting because if you remember, we've got this match already, but if you remember, years ago, before the pandemic messed it all up, the camdemic messed it all up. We were supposed to get Gunther vs. Finn at UKSA, at an NXT UKSA in Cardiff, Wales, for the NXT UK title. And that didn't end up happening because you would have to go overseas to go to the UK and everything. It didn't end up happening. So I'm excited for that match to take place on pay-per-view. Yeah, I gotta say it happened on a Raw before, but I'm more excited for that to take place on a pay-per-view because that is a bona fide main event pay-per-view match if I ever saw one. Finn Balor vs. Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. But anyway, Gunther gets Damien back in the ring. I mean, even though he doesn't want to win this way, he knows to take advantage of something when he has it. So he gives Damien a rear naked choke, and he gets the hooks in, and Damien passes out, which is admirable. Damien passes out. He doesn't tap out. The main event. We get War Games. We get the men's War Games match. OTC Original Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and the Usos versus the New Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Yoa, Bronson Reed, and Jacob Fatu. Oh, Braun Breaker, that was his name. Braun Breaker, not Bronson anything. It was Braun Breaker. But anyway, we get this main event match, and this was a great match. Not I don't think it's good as happened a few years ago, but this was still a really good match. And I'm gonna talk more about that specifically in Rain tomorrow, I think. But I am so happy for Roman. He was booed for the longest time because we saw what the fans saw was just the culprit machine behind him. Even though they tried to paint him as grassroots, they tried to paint him as an underdog, he was John Cena. We saw this corporate mechanism behind him, and he got rejected roundly. But lo and behold, we were right. At a pandemic show at SummerSlam, he turned heel. Well, I don't know if he turned heel exactly at SummerSlam, but he definitely turned heel turned heel a week later at Payback, when he waited so long to get into the triple threat between Bray, Braun, and himself for the title. But yeah, once he turned heel, everything fell into place on it because he could be himself. And you get a sense that is who Roman is in real life. He's really that stoic, no-nonsense character. I mean, honestly, how they waited so long to book him like that is beyond me.
A little bit too loud.
Okay, sorry.
Are you on like YouTube talking or something?
Yeah.
You're talking on like. You're like on like a chat or something?
Oh no, I'm doing a video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have to be a little bit more quiet.
Oh yeah,
All
sorry.
Right. See you in the morning.
See ya. Yeah, be.
Love you.
So yeah, so lo and behold, when he turned heel, everything fell into place. And yeah, I can say why they didn't book him like that in the first place is beyond me, because he just had that quality about him, that air about him. But anyway, the match starts off. We get some psychology before the bell even rings. We get the New Bloodline coming out of the unit. Then the other guys, the OTC Bloodline coming out one by one. You can see CM Punk riding the cage of Jacob Fatu, trying to get him all worked up. you get, to start the match, we get Jimmy or Jey Uso versus, so how well that Uso firmly worked out, huh? You get Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga. And this was good for what it was. I don't particularly care about either guy, but it was good for what it was. The real action begins. You get Bronson Reed coming in and squashing Jey Uso, which is say they're making miss me out of this guy. Then you get Jimmy come out, even the odds for his brother. But now the real MVP of this match, and the future tribal chief, if me and a lot of other guys have been thinking about it. But Jacob Fatu gets in the match and just runs wild, just destroys people. I'm like, man, oh man, how is this guy? Like, I used to say a while ago when they debuted, man, Jeff Owens is so good. Man, Jacob Fatu is incredible. I mean, I saw a little bit of his work in MLW, but nothing like this. I mean, he's just incredible. He was a Fury guy, just tossing him into the cage, tossing him around, kicking him, stomping him, headbutting him, all that good stuff. But they kind of weird what the commentators do. I don't know if they've made this point on the show or not, but kind of weird what they do. What the commentators say about Jacob. They say, oh, Soyo saved the Ice. Soyo saved Jacob the Ice. He got him out of the dregs. He got him out of the dregs where he was. And, I mean, like, MLW we were talking about. But now it's the film they were talking about that. But I'm like, oh, so what, Jacob Stewart had just opt himself if he didn't get to come to WB? Which that's, that was, weird, that was, weird for my tape, but who knows, they may have missed something. I did hear, though, that it was a dream to come to WB for years, so that's not true, but saving the Ice, I don't, and yet something happened that we don't know about, which we don't need to know about that, but, and yes, something really serious happened, which I don't think it did. I don't really know what that was about. I didn't really follow that. But next up, we've got Sami Zayn. We've got Sami Zayn coming in, and even in the odd once again, but he's no match. He's no match for Jacob Fatu. We got, before that, we got a really awesome battle. CM Punk and Roman Reigns are side by side. And when they opened the cage to get Sami out, well, he had one of them out anyway. CM Punk stopped to go, and Roman Reigns just holds his hand out. Holds his arm out, grabs the ball of the cage. So I just thought that was great. So we get Sami Zayn coming out, but he's no match for Jacob Fatu. He's no match for this new Bloodline and all the beefs they've got. They've got Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu out at the same time. You get CM Punk. CM Punk comes out, before he comes out of the cage, he shoulder checks Roman Reigns, which I thought was great too. I said the Salamander, which most of you probably know who he is, but someone to ask a question online on X yesterday. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about CM Punk after 1 year in WWE? I commented, like, honestly, I can't bring myself to care about anything he does. But objectively, it's been a B plus. It's been a B plus comeback objectively. But yeah, I don't act the guy. Particularly how he left AEW, just some stuff's come out. I mean, CM Punk wasn't completely at fault. It wasn't 100% his fault. But he did choose to embarrass the company and rake him over the coals before he went out with injury, before he embarrassed himself and his coworkers and that entire company. So, yeah, I honestly don't care for the guy. I couldn't care less about him. Well, as a person. But in ring, he's still one of the best, as shown in this match. But CM Punk comes out. CM Punk waits. The door's open, but he waits. And he looks at Roman, and he starts to walk off. And you're like, oh, is he abandoning? Is he abandoning them? Because remember, he has promised Paul Heyman, hey, just one time. You owe me a favor after this, but just one time, I'm going to help you out. Because remember also, CM Punk really had no reason to be friendly with Paul Heyman now. Because Paul Heyman betrayed him in 2013, sold him out to Brock Lesnar and other people. So, she turned his back on him basically. So, he had no reason to, but they were longtime friends. So, longtime friends, they trumped short-term betrayal. But eventually, Punk grabbed the toolbox from under the ring. And the commentators say, oh, remember the at time CM Punk was in the ring with the toolbox? I thought back to that steel cage match with Jerry the King Lawler and him having a heart attack a couple weeks afterwards. But they were talking about Drew and Hell in a Cell. I completely didn't make that connection. But CM Punk gets the toolbox. He gets in the ring and wallops every single one of his opposition with the toolbox. He goes to the Bulldog. Jacob Fatu connects. So since Jacob face first in the toolbox, Jacob pops up and kills the CM Punk. And I'm like, oh, this guy is who's gonna. This guy can just do whatever he wants. This guy can just take whatever he wants and no one who can stop him. Yeah, I would give him whatever he wants. He can legitimately break you in half. But we get, have I mentioned how good Jacob Fatu is, by the way? This completely erases everything that happened on the WWE match with Jey Uso, which I didn't really care for. I thought it should have been a gloss. But yeah, this one match completely negates everything I said about Jey Uso. Well, not negates it, but renders it avoidant kind of mood. But we get Solo Sikoa comes out next, and he gets a chain, it's padlock, and he changes the door shut. So he's like, Roman, you can't. He's taunting Roman. Saying, oh, you can't get in. I'm like, dude, he can just climb over the top. What are you talking about? So I thought for one brief second, I thought they would just have Roman rip the chain off with his hands, which I'm glad they didn't. They didn't do that. Mark Henry would be able to do that probably, but I'm glad they didn't have Roman do that. But Roman gets out, notices the padlock, fiddles with the padlock a bit, goes up top for Piaz, the members of the new bloodline meet him there, and he's just taking them out from the top of the cage so he can get in. And he flies from the top of the cage. And CM Punk's down. All his guys are down at this moment. All of Roman Reigns' guys. He helps up Jimmy. He helps up Jay. He helps up Sammy. He does not help up CM Punk, which is understandable. But yeah, CM Punk gets up, gets in Roman Reigns' face. Roman Reigns and him eye to eye. Paul Heyman comes out. He basically, I couldn't make out everything he said, but basically he said, oh, we need to get on the same page or we're going to get squashed. This is War Games. And, I mean, okay, it probably wouldn't have made much sense for William Regal to come out to do that. So they had to have Paul Heyman do that. But we get the start of the match officially because the War Games can't start until all 5 participants on both sides are in the ring. We get the beat from Roman. We get a DDT on 2 by Sammy. We get an inadvertent spear to CM Punk after Solo ducks out of the way. Well, I mean, Roman gets caught in the ropes, Solo rope-a-dopes him, and then gets out of the way. So Roman spears CM Punk. We get Bronson Reed coming for Roman, getting him on the table. There are 2 tables in the ring, by the way. Getting him on a table and going to the top of the cage for a tsunami pass through the table on Roman. And I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. It's going to wear out the way. It's going to wear out the way. And technically it does, but not in the way I thought it would. Bronson Reed comes out the top. Roman Reigns not getting out of the way. CM Punk helped him off the table. And I'm glad because you get that spot and you get that spot of miscommunication and you get arguments and everything. I mean, guy, it was just a mistake. Calm down. But yeah, I'm glad we didn't get that. We didn't get that overpaid spot here. But just a little side note. At the beginning of the match, Michael Cole, you couldn't have timed this any better. At the beginning of the match, Michael Cole says, oh, there's no pinfall, no submission, no bell, no referee, until the match gets on the way. A snap of the fingers later, the bell rings, and Melchizedek, oh, well, you couldn't have timed that any better. And I don't think they did time that. I think that just happened. But you couldn't have timed that any better. We get CM Punk helping Roman Reigns off the table. CM Punk's on the ground. Roman Reigns extends his hand to CM Punk to help him up. And when he's doing that, when they're having that moment, Jacob Fatu comes in and gives Roman a roundhouse kick. I'm pretty sure it was a roundhouse kick. Gives him a roundhouse kick. And Soyo gets Roman and gives him a Samoan spike. Gives him another Samoan spike that you should have acknowledged me. He's on the ground. Gives him another Samoan spike. He goes for the pin. 1, 2, and Jimmy breaks it up. On the other side of the ring, you get Bronson Reed is on the table. And you get Jay Uso hopped off the top of the cage, the top of the War Games cage, and put Bronson Reed to the table with the best. So that's the end of Bronson Reed in this match. We get a feel about Soyo and the Soyo team is down. We get Soyo surrounded by the members of the OTC bloodline. We get him surrounded, and Roman Reigns puts his arm out, he's offering a hug, he's offering forgiveness, even though he's not. He's offering an opportunity. But don't do this, that'll be kind of lame for what you try to do. And Soyo in one act of defiance, they go to Samoan Spike, to Roman Reigns, and they get destroyed. Go to super kicks. Super kick, Uva kick, go to Steve, and then finally appear when he rebounds off the rope. And Roman Reigns pins Soya Sikoa. The announcers mentioned, Soya Sikoa still has the Uyafala. And I'm like, okay, so all Sikoa has to do to keep that in the dressing room. And Roman can't get it. So that was a little strange. But you think of the way that to the ring indeed, if he was so confident he was gonna win. But they're setting up a one-on-one match, hopefully not at WrestleMania. A one-on-one match between Soya Sikoa and Roman Reigns for the Uyafala, who is the undisputed tribal chief. They throw the one up, but interestingly enough, because Punk had no stake in this match whatsoever, other than that favor and Paul Heyman. But interestingly enough, they throw the one up. CM Punk does his go to Steve taunt. And they're building up to a match between him and Roman Reigns. What's interesting too is the Usos, Sammy, kind of reacted to I wouldn't call it they hug Roman Reigns or anything, but they just kind of reacted to celebrating with Roman Reigns. But they hug CM Punk. And Roman Reigns is on the outside looking in. So that makes me wonder. I'm excited about CM Punk versus Roman Reigns anyway. It's funny how things work out, because something that I mentioned that I'm really happy for Roman. I saw something a day or two ago that didn't really endear him to me as a person all that much. But interesting, I think, knockout because initially in 2014, when the Shield formed and turned on CM Punk, the Shield and Punk were in a handicap match. It was Shield versus Punk, a 3-on-1 handicap match. And all these people were saying Punk, oh, you're gonna win because you're the WWE champion. But you gotta make Roman look really strong. Make him look really strong out there. And CM Punk said on the Art of Wrestling podcast with Cold Commando, which is a great podcast, by the way. CM Punk said on the Art of Wrestling podcast, gave that story, and he said, you know what would make him look really strong? If he beat me. Because why wouldn't he beat me? It's 3-on-1. I know I'm the WWE champion and my moniker is best in the world, but it's 3-on-1, still our cohesive unit. No, we want you to win. And Roman Reigns, a couple days ago, he came out with something. I don't know if it was a character or not. I would 50% guess he was maybe a character to sell this match more, but Roman Reigns talked because of that made Roman a strong comment, which really did happen. He doesn't like CM Punk. He doesn't care for CM Punk. I mean, guy, did you think we would know that you were getting put to the moon superficially if that comment hadn't been said by CM Punk? But yeah, I legitimately think wrestlers, some exceptions maybe, but I generally don't think wrestlers don't think fans are all that bright. Don't think fans are all that smart. Don't really care for them, but that should be what I got out of it. But it's interesting, I think, look out because Roman Reigns is now one of the biggest stars, if not the biggest star in the company. Whether that's a detriment to everyone else around him, I don't know. But Roman Reigns is one of the biggest stars in the company, indeed. And CM Punk got back, and they're building up to a match between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Which is, Punk hasn't got to worry about making Reigns strong now. I know he was annoyed. He was annoyed by that. He said as much on the podcast. But yeah, that was Survivor Series War Games. I thought Punk would turn on Roman Reigns at the end of the match, but he didn't do that. And Roman Reigns and his crew, they won. This has been good for Solo Sikoa. I still would rather see Jacob for 2 than Solo, but this has been good. This has been good for Solo Sikoa. Just he's beaten Roman Reigns. They nearly beat him. He nearly beat him here with the spikes. So yeah, that was Survivor Series 2024. Really, a real good show. Damn show. Outcast actually, but a great main event. Well, guys, I think when I see you, thank you for tuning in to my review here.